The Ottawa Senators will have a new but familiar look when they take the ice in the 2020-21 NHL season, as today the team confirmed what many of us had long already known, and that is that they will be bringing back their old two-dimensional logo from the 1990s. And while it's extremely similar to this one back here, it's not exactly the same. In this video, I'm going to take a look at some of those differences to show you what exactly has changed between this one and what you're going to be seeing next season. I'm also going to take a look back at their all-time logo history and share with you what we've heard about their new uniforms for next season that'll accompany this logo change. So here it is, the new logo for the Ottawa Senators. And like I said, it's very similar to what they wore in the 90s, but not exactly the same. There is some changes to the color of the cape that flows behind the Senator. Used to be red, now it's gold. And that's really the only noticeable difference between the two. The edges at the top and the bottom of the logo are a little more rounded than they were in the 90s, but that's ultimately all there is. There could be a change to the colors, but we're not entirely sure yet if the colors that we saw today are what's actually going to be their official color scheme, because there's oddities with how colors are presented on display versus print and embroidery. We just don't know. We need to wait till we see the official specs before we can talk about that. But as you can see, it's largely the same logo, just for the change in that cape color. So if you were a fan of the original Senators look, you're very happy today, I would imagine. Ottawa Senators owner Eugene Melnick said, "It is time for the Senators to return to our roots. The fans of this great franchise have high expectations, and we have heard from our fans, our partners, and our players, and we have listened. It is time to return to our heritage, but in a bold new manner. The Senators have a rich history in our community, and we are ready for the next chapter to begin." So we do keep referring to this logo as the original Ottawa Senators logo, but that's not entirely true either. The original On Ice Ottawa Senators logo was different than what we're seeing now. And that is, look over my shoulder here. The one over my shoulder, that is the original Ottawa Senators logo. And there are some changes, right? If you look around the semicircle, it says the name of the team. That's not there anymore, right? They got rid of that in the mid-90s. They replaced it with some laurel leaves, presumably to appeal to their bilingual fan base. Now, if you look at the helmet, there's laurel leaves right there that are now gone. They shifted over to the semicircle. Both of those things are not on the current 2021 logo. They were replaced back in the mid-90s when they first came to the style of logo that they're using now. So really what you're seeing today is the third version of this logo, Ottawa Senators 3.0. But over the dozen or so seasons that the team has used the various versions of this logo, they have had some pretty notable players. Daniel Alfredsson, Alexei Yashin, Hall of Famer Dominic Hasek, and of course, Alexander Daigle. As for the new uniforms, here's what we know. They're coming October 6th to coincide with the NHL draft. The team told the Ottawa Sun that they won't be exactly the same as we saw in the 90s and that they will have different striping. This syncs up perfectly with the leaked photograph we saw earlier this month that shows an Ottawa Senators jersey with the new logo, notice that gold cape, and slightly different striping around the waist that the team used back in the 90s. You'll notice there's one single stripe right at the bottom of the waist. It wasn't there in the 90s, it was slightly elevated. So this matches up exactly with what we heard. This is probably what the new Ottawa Senators home uniform will look like. We haven't seen the road white uniform yet. We also know that there won't be an alternate third jersey for next season, and it is something that the team will look at down the road. This rebrand took years. The Ottawa Senators had been conducting focus group testing. They had been talking to their season ticket base for several years about what they could do for their new logo. They pitched going back to the original logo from the 1920s even, which was just a stylized O on a barber pole stripe design. They talked about retaining the logo that they'd used for the last 10 years, going back to the 2D logo, which they ultimately did, or developing an all-new logo for the next decade. So after all those years, all they did was just change the color of the cape on their logo. So while it is an upgrade, it's better than what they had before, but you could say it's slightly disappointing, I suppose, after all these years. That's all I'm saying. While I do like the logo, it's nice, it's well designed, it's a very safe choice for the team to make. And just after all this time, you maybe expected a little bit more.
So enough about what I think. Let's hear what you think, okay? Add your thoughts to the comments. Did the Ottawa Senators do the right thing? Do you think they played it a little bit too safe? Or are you glad they went back to the original look? Would you have rather they evolve the brand to something different, maybe make it a little more modern? Or just going back to what they had before is good enough for you? Let's hear it in the comments. And if you like this video, please like. And if you want more of this stuff, subscribe. I'll make more. Thank you very much. And if you love this logo history stuff, check out SportsLogos.Net, biggest online database of sports logo history, news, resources, forums. Check it out. You're going to love it.